Good afternoon, everybody. Shavua Tov, also Chodesh Tov, and welcome to the Israel Brief, brought to you by Lay of the Land. I'm Rolene Marks, your host, bringing you the top stories from Israel and surrounds every Monday to Thursday. Now, where can you find us, you ask? Well, don't worry, I'm going to tell you. You can find us on our Facebook page at Lottel's site, and we would love it if you join our community by either liking or following us, or you can view us on YouTube. Our channel is called The Israel Brief, and all you have to do to receive your daily updates is to click on the red subscribe button. But let's take a look at those top stories making headlines, and it's a big one to start the week. The Iranians are blaming Israel for the sabotage on the Natanz centrifuge site that happened yesterday. An Iranian official has vowed revenge on the Zionists and has said that they have identified the suspect who will be arrested soon. Meanwhile, the former IDF intelligence chief has said that maximum pressure does not seem to be working. Is this an admission of any Israeli involvement in the sabotage attack on Natanz? All we can say is Israel neither confirms nor denies being involved in cases of this kind. Meanwhile, U.S. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin is in the country. He has met with our Defense Chief Benny Gantz. They have spoken about security issues, including Iran, and Benny Gantz impressed upon him the importance of ensuring Israel's security. And in response, the Secretary of Defense said that the U.S. remains committed to Israel's security. That commitment is ironclad. Now the race is on for the next Israeli president. Just when you thought you had seen the end of elections, we have another one coming up. But don't worry, this doesn't involve major campaigns or the public, but our beloved president, Reuven Rivlin, is stepping down as his term ends on the 9th of July. Now, how it works is that the role of president is decided within the Knesset, and anyone or any candidate who wants to be put forward has to have the support of at least 10 Chaver Knessets or 10 MKs. So may the best candidate win, and those who think that they have what it takes to be Israel's president, please go forth and submit your candidacy. And our last story takes us to the United Kingdom, and Israel joins the United Kingdom, the Commonwealth, Her Majesty the Queen and her family in mourning the death of the Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, who passed away peacefully at his home in Windsor Castle at the age of 99. Tributes have poured in from around the world, but within minutes of his passing, Israel's president, Israel's prime minister, the spokesperson of our foreign ministry, as well as our ambassador to the United Kingdom, as well as scores of Jewish leaders from around the world and the Commonwealth and British subjects have sent their tributes. Now, we have written an article in tribute to the Duke of Edinburgh. It's up on our Facebook page and on our website that explains his incredible and unique attachment or relationship with the Jewish people in the state of Israel. And the Duke, being somebody who was modest, somebody who didn't brag necessarily, many people are familiar with his story of his mother who hid a Jewish family during the Holocaust, and that the prince was the first British royal to visit Israel in 1994 as his mother was being awarded a righteous among the nations. Now, Israel has had a complicated history or complicated relationship with British royals, wondering why we hadn't seen an official visit by Her Majesty the Queen. What were the reasons for that? We don't know, but very, very moved to hear of how Prince Philip has impacted Israel, from speaking at various pro-Israel causes like the Jewish National Fund to being involved with Holocaust Memorial and remembrance, as well as something quite sentimental to me. His Duke of Edinburgh Awards was adopted by Israel in 1982 and has seen hundreds of graduates from WITSA, from the Women's International Zionist Organizations, youth villages, partake in this, which has really helped them get a tremendous step to living a better life. And they can be thankful, as all of us can, to the Duke for his extraordinary life of service and of duty, and for the particular fondness he had for the Jewish people and the state of Israel. We extend our sincerest condolences to Her Majesty the Queen, who has lost her strength and her stay for the last 73 years, the royal family, the people of Britain, and the Commonwealth. May his memory be eternally blessed. Those are your top stories making headlines today. Don't forget about all our social media: on Facebook at Lottle Site, on Twitter at Lay of the Land 5, on YouTube at The Israel Brief, and of course our website at www.layoftheland.online. Almost forgot it there, just as well I am reminded. And we'll be back again tomorrow, and tomorrow we will begin to pay tribute to Israel's fallen. Just as we come off air, we will start Yom HaZikaron, that's Memorial Day, which will be followed 24 hours later by Yom HaAtzmaut, Independence Day. So a big week coming up, but you can get all your headlines right here on the Israel Brief. So from me, Rolene Marks, until tomorrow, Letwaot, and have a great rest of your day.